Hello everyone, this is David Wiggins, aka Halfpenny Man, here again to promote my ebooks as well as my other novels, paperbacks and the like. Today I'd like to introduce you to another ebook. I have 7 of them now, and this one I want to talk to you today is a classic piece of innuendo. I used to Uh, listen to classic people like Ronnie Barker and Frankie Howard, which of course if you were younger you mostly won't know who these people are, but they did absolutely beautiful innuendo. It was either written by them or written for them, and so I've always appreciated innuendo in that lovely way. So here we go. We'll have a go at now. The book is Oooh, Brenda. And I have now Oooh, Brenda and Oooh, Brenda 2. So something for you to have a look at on my ebooks on Kindle. Now let's go to Brenda. Oh, Brenda, she's going down to town today, and she visiting a few of the shops, general mooch around, and she sees a new shop, and it's called Confectionery Delight. And she sees all there's a lot of people inside the shop, and so she sort of makes her way in. Ooh, I must go and have a look at this. So she goes inside to have a look at the shop, and there's a good many people in the shop because it's obviously newly opened, and it's got all the sort of sweets and things and candy that you can think of. But on the counter, she notices there's a silver tray there. And on the silver tray, there's some homemade chocolates. So, of course, she's making her way over to these chocolates, trying to squeeze in between the other people that are in there. And, of course, gets up to this thing and tries one of these chocolates. And, of course, it's absolutely beautiful. So, melt in the mouth, beautiful, lovely chocolate. And, of course, she's just lost in a dream, just standing there enjoying this. And then, of course, when she looks down at the tray, there's only 1 or 2 left. I mean, they're all the ladies there are all finding the chocolates are absolute delight. So she manages to get another one before the tray is empty, and then she's there with this other chocolate. And of course, sort of putting the chocolate to her mouth and to her lips and thinking, oh, this is just heaven. This is just. So anyway, of course, the chocolate's now gone, and although the sweet shop is full of confectionery, and most of the people now have left, and so she's standing around, and of course she noticed the man behind the counter, the sales assistant, and he goes, "Hello, madam. Did you enjoy those chocolates?" She said, "Oh, they were absolute heaven. That was an absolute dream." She said, "We have many choices. Do you type sweets?" She said, "I do like an aromatic boiled sweet." She said, "They are some of my favorites." Oh, he said, "We've got an absolute wonderful choice of boiled sweets over there on the shelves over there. They're in the jars, and if you want me to, I can get some steps and get some of the jars that are higher up. I can bring them down for you if you'd like to." And of course, she's staring at these things, jars of sweets, and there's brandy snaps and aniseed balls, Everton mints, humbugs, coconut mushrooms, cola squares, pineapple squares, pear drops. I mean, she's absolutely amazed at what there is. And of course, she said, "I do like brandy snaps." And wise choice, said the gentleman. "I should get the steps for you." So he's been and got the steps, and he's sort of putting the steps down, and of course he's going up this small pair of steps to get the jar of brandy snaps. And she goes, "Oh, new trousers?" He said, "Yes." He says, "Yeah, only got them yesterday." She said, "Oh, new trousers and a new belt." She said, "Very nice cut, very nice." She said. He said, "Yes, and no zip." He said, "Buttons." He said, "I think they're rather good." And she said, "I think they're delightful. They are a wonderful cut." Anyway, he comes down with his jar, and of course he said, "How much would you like of the brandy snaps, madam?" And she said, I think I'll have 100 grams, please. And so he's measuring out 100 grams in a little set of scales on the counter, and then, of course, then pours them into a little paper bag. Is there to be anything else, madam? And she said, she said, what else have you got? And he said, well, I do like to keep a few specials under the counter. Oh, she said, Brenda, what things have you got under the counter? She said, a few discerning for the more discerning customer. The confectionery under here, he said. So, she said, can I have a look? Please, madam, do come round. So she walks round the counter, and he said, they're down there, he said. What's down there? What I keep under the counter, said the sales assistant. So, of course, Brenda's having a look under the counter. And she goes, ooh, there's some beauties down here. Yes, I think you'll find that's true, madam, said the sales assistant. Especially under the buttons, if you know what I mean. She said, oh, what's this? She said, feeling something that was protruding out. And then she said, I think that's what I call my strawberry delight. Oh, strawberry delight. He said, oh, I do like strawberry. He said, I think you'll like that one, madam. He said, it's very, very tasty. And she got hold of this basically strawberry delight. And yes, it's absolutely lovely, she thinks, and then really enjoying herself. Going to town on it, you might say. Yes. And then, of course, he's there. He's absolutely in heaven, this sales assistant. He said, oh, I do like somebody that appreciates, a strawberry delight. And she said, oh, I love it. She said, oh, it's so tasty. She said, and then, of course, she's really enjoying. She's going to town, and she's kneeling down behind that counter, going to town on this strawberry delight. And then all of a sudden, she said that was just so low, and she stands up and she's, wiping her mouth with a tissue. It's all sort of wet and sticky. And she, oh, it was so lovely. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, madam. He said, please, if you ever feel that you would like to come back again to the shop, she said, be only delighted to let you see what I have under the counter, madam. Oh, I will do, she said. I will do. Oh, it was lovely. And of course, Brenda then leaves the shop. She nips it into town, and saying she's going around, and she goes to the sports centre, the leisure centre, and she said, I noticed this advert in the paper, she said to the receptionist, where you can learn to play snooker. She said, I'd love to learn to play snooker, she said. I've watched it on the TV, but I've never actually played the game. Oh, she said, would you be interested if I got one of the mentors out to have a word with you, madam? Oh, yes, please, said Brenda. I'd love that. So, of course, this receptionist, she picks up the phone and rings somebody, and then through a side door, a man comes into the reception area, and he goes up to the reception. He said, is there somebody here for me? And the receptionist said, this lady here, she'd love to learn how to play snooker. Oh, she said, hello, madam. He said, what's your name? He said, Brenda. Oh, Brenda, he said, would you be interested in a few lessons of snooker? Oh, yes, he said, very much so. I don't suppose by any chance you're free now, are you, madam, for an introductory lesson? It's only half price. Oh, yes, she said. That'd be really good. Oh, good, he said. So he takes her into this side room, and obviously they go into this where there's a snooker table. In fact, there's several snooker tables, but the one nearest to the door there is the one that he's using for training people. Anyway, he says, can I just take a few details, Brenda? Yeah. Address, oh, very good, madam. He says, if you give this slip, he said, when we've done this lesson to the receptionist, and then she can book you in for further ones, and of course allow you for the discount that there is for today. Oh, yeah, brilliant, said Brenda. That's fantastic. He said, yes. He said, by the way, my name is Richard. Oh, she said, but my friends all call me Dick. Oh, oh, very nice, Dick, she said. Now, he said, I don't suppose you've ever played snooker before? She said, no, never. And he said, well, I think we better start off, he says. We're setting up the table and the basics. He said, now, what you'll have to do, he said, first of all, he said, is put your hand in the pocket. Put your hand in the pocket and feel for the balls. Oh, oh, said Brenda, yeah. Yes, yeah. So she's got her hand in this pocket. You see where this is going, can't you? And you get his hand in this pocket, and she's feeling around for the balls in the pocket. And of course, he said, when you get hold of them, the balls that is, bring them out. So of course, you know, she's getting the balls out of his pocket and snooker table, you understand, and then of course putting them onto the table, and of course he gets his little wooden frame and he puts them on there and putting all the balls in, and then lining up the coloured balls, you know, getting ready for the game. And he says, "Now, madam, what do you need to do now?" He said, "You'll need to get hold of this." Oh, oh, she said, "It's a big one, isn't it?" Yes, yes, it's and you'll need this, he said, to pot the balls. Oh, all right then, she said. Anyway, so he said, now get a good grip, hold it with this hand towards the base, and then with the other hand, gradually run the up with your other hand. Cool, blimey, she said. Oh yes, she said. I think he said. Now bend over the table, madam. And I said, oh, yeah. And then he said, now with that stick in your hand, we call it a cue, by the way. He said, I want you now, he says, while you're down there bending over the table, I want you now to gently kiss the balls. Oh, right, she said. What have I got to do? Oh, he said, you've got to just gently knock the ball, kiss the ball, he said, we call it, kiss the balls. With the stick. Oh, I said, and of course then she plays the thing and knocks it, and then, you know, knocks the cue ball into the car. Oh, and gives it a little clap. You know, she's quite happy. And she said, yes, no, I think we can see that we can progress. That you're going to be okay. So I'll show you now how to pot a ball, and I think we could go from there. So anyway, she's thoroughly enjoying this lesson. It's Brenda. She's really game. And after the lesson is finished, of course, she goes to reception, hands in the thing, and she said, "Can I ask, am I able to bring my friend with me?" She said, "Oh yes, you can bring a friend with you. Yes, it's, you know, maybe your friend might be interested in a game herself at some point." "Oh yes," she said. I shall ask her when I see her." So of course, Brenda's finished the lesson now, and of course, so off she goes into the town, and she's meeting a good friend in the town for a coffee. Her name is Fanny Alsop. Anyway, so goes into the coffee shop, and of course, there is Fanny, and she says, "Hello," she said, "You never guess where I've been." She said, "Oh, where have you been?" She said, "I've been down to the leisure centre, and I'm learning to play pool. Sorry, snooker." Yes, she said, "Oh, blooming egg." She said, "Is it good?" He said, "It's fantastic." She said, "In fact," she said, "I'd like you to come down with me. You know, me, you, and Dick." And she said, "Who's Dick?" And oh no, that's the man. His name's Richard, but she said that all his friends call him Dick, so that's all right. Oh, she said, "It sounds really good. So there'll be me, you, and Dick." Yes, yeah, on the pool table. Yes, yes. Oh, it sounds real fun. Yes. When are we going to do this? Well, I thought we could go tomorrow. Oh yes, I think we could do this. All right. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. What is it? What do you have to do? He said, well, basically, he said, what he got me to do is he got me to get his balls out of his pockets. Oh, she said, yes, yeah, and anything else? Well, I had to hold this long thing, and then move my hand up and down it by, first of all, holding it firmly at the base. Oh, she said, it sounds rather fun. Oh, yes, it's ever so good. She said, it's a marvelous game. Yeah. So we'll make that a day for tomorrow. Absolutely. Great. Well, she said, what are you doing now, by the way? He said, oh, I'm just going to have a final mooch around the shopping centre, and then I'm going to go home. So anyway, she leaves Fanny in the coffee shop, and off goes Brenda, and goes into the local shopping centre, and she sees it's a fair amount of women standing around this table, and notices that there's a man there, and he's giving a demonstration of something. So of course she's going over there, and looking over the tops of these people, and oh, yeah. The man is demonstrating the versatility of a new kitchen knife for slicing and things like that. And of course she's saying that, and it cuts this, and it cuts that, and it's absolutely great for peeling. And of course the women are all looking at this demonstration, isn't it? And he said, I'd I'd like a volunteer. He said, what we're going to do is, he said, I'm going to show you how easy it is to cut up this cucumber. So he gets this cucumber, puts it on the table, and he said, can I have a volunteer, please, amongst you lovely ladies? And it goes, ooh, Brenda said, oh, I'll volunteer. So Brenda goes and he said, have you ever used a utensil like this before? No, she said. I've used knives before. Yeah, but not one like this, I should imagine. Imagine this is a far superior knife than that. Oh, yes, she said. It's got a lovely firm handle. He said, yes, it does, doesn't it? He said, what I'd like you to do, he said, is I'd like you to just hold the handle. Notice it. He said, it's specially been carved for the human hand to hold. She said, oh, yes, she said, I can. It's very, very firm, she said, but very soft. Yes, madam. And then, of course, it cuts absolutely perfectly. If you'd like to just bend over the table, madam, and I shall show you how it works. So, of course, Brenda, she's bending over the table, and of course, she's got this lovely knife in her hand, and of course, she's going to cut up here. And she said, oh, she said, this is a lovely cucumber. He said, yeah, one of the better ones. He says, actually, I grow them myself, you know. Oh, I said, how do you get them so big? He said, well, what I do, he said, when the cucumber's developing, he said, I tie a string round the end of it and attach a small brick to the end of it, and it pulls it down. It makes it much longer. Oh, said Brenda, you can really feel the difference here. He said, I was hoping you would say that, madam. He said, and of course, she does a demonstration and cuts up the cucumber absolutely perfectly. Yeah, lovely, he said. And of course, he said, would you like ladies to give a round of applause to the lovely Brenda here? And Brenda says, oh, thank you very much. So all the ladies give him a round of applause. They've done a good job. And there goes off, the ladies. So he quickly makes a few sales. Of people that might want a super soft knife. But anyway, like I say, he's off he goes, and he says to Brenda, he says, I don't suppose you could help me to carry this stuff to the van. He said, it's in the car park in the shopping centre. Ooh, he said. She said, well, he said, in fact, he said, if you help me, he said, I'll let you have some of these fruit and veg for free. He said, you can get some from the van. I've got a box full of them in there, and you can just help yourself. Ooh, said Brenda, all right, then I'll help you. So, of course, he's carrying the table, and she's carrying the knives and boxes and things like that. And they go through into the car park, and then up to his white van in the car park. And of course, he opens the back door, and he says, as he gets inside the van, he said, yes, he said, can you just pass me that up? Oh, thank you. Pass me that. Oh, thank you very much. He said, if you'd like now just to come in with the table, he says, because I've got to stand it up in the van, he said. And so she's got hold of one end of the table, and he's got the other, and of course they get it into the back of the van. And then he says, if you'd like to help yourself, Brenda, he says, the bag's now under the table. So of course Brenda has to bend over the table to get the veg out. Oh, she said, oh, there's some beauties in here. Yes, he said, what can you feel, madam? And he said, a cucumber, definitely a cucumber. I thought you'd like that, he said. Anything else? He said, am I mistaken? He said, but there's some plums in here as well. Yes, he said, there is. He said, you've got a very, very delicate and sensitive touch, madam. He said, yes, he said, I have. He said, I do appreciate that. so much, he said. And then basically, Brenda is helping herself to all this fruit and veg, everything, putting it into a bag, and then gets out of the van and said, "Well, thank you very much." He said, "I can thank you, madam. Thank you very much." Hey, and then of course Brenda goes off. Now, uh, as you can see, the beauty of writing innuendo, even for Ooh, Brenda, is that you have to basically make it sound as though it's interesting, if you see what I mean. And there's something going on, which of course there's not. No, not at all. No. Anyway, um, that's an insight to Ooh, Brenda. And now I've got Ooh, Brenda 2. So there's 2 of them, little ebooks for you to look at. They say 7 ebooks now in all. And like I say, please have a look. Remember that I'm promoting myself to, get my books out there, my paperback books of my 3 novels. And I'm using this as basically a way of getting myself known. Read to you some of my ebooks, laugh out loud, and hopefully entertain you at the same time. And then maybe you'll have a look at my books, and that way, like I say, that's what helps. That's how we help, isn't it? We help each other. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy a short specimen there of Ooh, Brenda, and I'll be back soon with another story from my ebook. And thank you very much. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Bye.